Welcome back to the channel, and this is a inbox review of the Eduard Weekend Edition of the Fokker E.II in 1/48 scale. As usual, we'll start with the instructions, and here we've got a parts breakdown showing a few parts that aren't going to be used, which are marked in blue. Interestingly, we've got one of each wing is not going to be used for some reason, and that obviously denotes that we've got the E1, E2 and E3 come out of this same boxing. And we've got the colour callouts there, which are Guns, Acrylic and Lacquer range, as well as the Mr. Colour range. So as we run through, it's the same old thing with Eduard. It's nice clear instructions, colour callouts for each part, very clear, showing you how all the parts go down. We do have some rigging to go on the inside, I think. That's optional actually. It's shown as raised parts, but it is actually, these sections here were rigged. So you could add rigging there, or use the sections that are already moulded in on the inside. We've got decals for seat harnesses, which is a nice option. They do look a little bit cartoony, but you know, at least you've got a chance to use them, as opposed to them not being included. This being a weekend edition, it doesn't have the masks and the etch that usually come in Eduard Profi packs. And then as we carry on through here, the fuselage is coming together, and then we've got the top part of the making up the area forward of the cockpit on the fuselage. So we've got parts of the cowling coming together with a few instrument dials going underneath here, as well as a fuel tank and a few other small sections, and they all come together to make up the fully enclosed cockpit. Then we've got an actual cowling that goes around the engine, which is one piece here, it looks like. There's the odd decal going in here and there, which is showing small instruments and dials. And then once all that's together, the machine gun goes down, and then we've got the bracket here, which takes some of the rigging. And this being a monoplane, all the rigging goes to a central point, which is this A-frame here. And we've also got a windscreen going on. Then it goes to the rear of the fuselage, where we get the tailplane on with the horizontal stabilizers and the rudder, as well as the tail skid there as well. Then the undercarriage goes on, which is it's nicely handled, but it's a complex little section here that sort of just bolts onto the rear underneath of the fuselage, and it's numerous sort of frames that make up a kind of wooden structure. Looks a bit precarious, but when it's together it's quite strong. And here's plan view there, and we've got a side view coming up as well, I believe. Then the wings go on, and the model's finished off with the propeller going on as well, which has some decals on it. And then we've got a rigging diagram, which is pretty good. It shows you more or less where everything needs to go and the fixing points, including the bracing that goes around the undercarriage there. Then on to the marking option. So we've got this first marking option, which is a well-known version of the E.II, which is on the Western Front, late 1915, early 1916, and it's part of 6815. Presumably that's the squadron. I don't know a huge amount about the German side of World War One. And then we've also got 6915, another E.II, which is the Western Front, October 1915. And that's notable with the black rudder and the black wheels, which give it a little bit of a different look. And both markings have that sort of linen kind of sail colour to the fabric, and the large German crosses there on the wings. So it's quite an iconic looking model. And staying on the theme of the markings, we've got the decal sheet here, and this continues the form of recent Eduard kits. Now, I think I'm right in saying that the reason there's a difference is because these are the decals that Eduard are printing in-house, and that's coming out of their more recent kit. So this is a 2018 kit, and there it says made in the Czech Republic, so it's not cartograph, and they're just stunning. I haven't used them yet in anger, so I can't speak for how they go down and how they sink in when they're actually applied to the model. But as far as the carrier film is concerned, it is not there. It literally goes to the edge of each individual decal, and is only outside of that where it needs to be. So for instance, around this cross there is a little bit going across, but even that's angled. Usually you'd get a massive square. So in all of the larger shapes, they are cut right around. So it makes for very, very fine looking decals. We've got markings here that go for the propeller. We've got the two different marking options. These are generic for both sets. We've got stitching here that goes on the underside of the fuselage, and I believe it's just on the underside. It may be on both sides. No, it's just on underneath. One's black and one's a lighter colour, depending on the marking option that you do. You've also got black or brown seat harnesses, and then you've got the different markings here for the E.II 6915 and E.II 6815, and then stencil data running all around. It looks really great. And hopefully there you can see what I mean as far as the carrier film is concerned. So starting off with the sprues, this almost looks like two identical sprues here, but they do seem to be different, I believe, and that would explain the wings, presumably. That I can't really see what the difference is, but they don't want you to use these two here. So you've got two fuselage halves here, and hopefully there you can see the internal rigging that I was talking about that's already moulded in, which is quite nice. We've got two engines, not sure why or what the difference is. Oh right, yeah, of course, so that's two different types of engines, because this has got quite a lot more cylinder heads on it, and that will presumably show the difference between the E1, the E2 and the E3. So different engines, different cowlings, different props, and that's what we've got here. So you just eliminate the parts that you don't need for whichever model you're doing. This being an E2, that's why we've got parts on these sprues that aren't going to be used. So there are a few bits there for the spares box, and overall everything looks pretty good. This is an older kit, so there's a little bit of flash coming in areas, but I mean it's really not too much of a problem at all. I mean you'd expect possibly more than what's on here. It's only just a little bit here on these shrouds that go around the side of the cowling, a little bit on the underneath of the cowling there, but overall everything's looking pretty good. And the level of detail across the kit is on par with what you'd expect now. It's a little bit lessened to what Eduard are sort of kicking out at these days in 2019, but overall it still holds up very well. Very thin trailing edges and leading edges of the wings there. You do have raised ribs. I'm not sure what the accuracy of these would be. Raised ribs going down along the side of the fuselage and across the wing. I don't know enough about the subject to know whether they'd actually be as thick as that, but they look pretty good. And you've also got small little indents for where the rigging goes, so small little pieces here that are drilled out to take the rigging, which is a nice nice touch as well. So then we've got another sprue which caters for all of the smaller parts. Here it's the bracing for the undercarriage. A lot of this bracing is quite delicate, and there we've got a piece that's been snapped. Not too much of an issue, it goes back in, knits in very nicely. You've got bracing for the sides of the cockpit that go on the fuselage. You've got the cockpit floor, fuel tank, a few other small bits all over here. You've got the wheels as well, where you've got separate tyres to the hubs, and overall everything looks extremely good. Very, very fine detail all across this actually, very nice. Doesn't look like there's a ton of cleanup to do as well. Can't see any massive mould lines running around any of these bits. Yeah, overall looks really, really good. Then lastly we've got the windscreen, which is separately bagged. It's just in there, and it does have a bit of rivet detail running along the bottom on that one piece of sprue. So there we go, that is a look inside the Fokker E.II Weekend Edition in 1/48 scale from Eduard. Nice kit, looks to be simple enough to go together, although you know there are a few small parts and it's going to take a little bit of work to get certain aspects right, where you've got some of the wood grain look on the inside and on the tail skid here, as well as getting the rolling sort of panelling look to the whole cowling section. All of those things are where it would take time on this kit, and it would be very worth doing in this scale to show it off. Also the rigging is another point that complicates the build a little bit, but it's a good one if you're not used to World War II, World War I aircraft or biplanes or anything. This is a simple way into it to give you a bit of an idea about the rigging, because it is relatively simple as far as rigging goes compared to biplanes, so it might be a nice entry level for that point. Also a nice cheap kit, usually pick it up between £10 and £15. Profi Pack Edition is just going to give you a small etch set, a negligible mask set which will be for the wheel rims and the windscreen, you can pretty much handle yourself, I would imagine. I'm not sure whether the etch set is really massively worth it for this type of model. Maybe for the cooling jacket on the gun and the instruments and the seat belts, that's probably the main thing you'd be looking for. But overall, this is a very nice kit and well worth looking at. So if you're into World War I era planes or just something a little bit different, maybe it's worth checking out. As always, thanks for watching the videos, thanks for keeping an eye on the channel. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing, give the video a like, and I'll see you in the next video.